Hi, my name is Jacob Savage. I'm going to be talking about the 2015 memorable season of the Toronto Blue Jays. So first of all, the Jays had 7-2 odds on winning the World Series in 2015, although their ace Marcus Stroman went out in spring training with a torn ACL in his left knee, and the Jays' chances to win the World Series dropped drastically. Throughout the season, the Blue Jays were hovering around 500 baseball, as they had a 50-49 record at the trade deadline. The Jays were 7 games back of the AL East division behind the New York Yankees, and there are 2 games back in the Minnesota Twins in the wild card spot. The Blue Jays knew there had to be some changes to the roster if they want to make a solid push for the playoffs. This was part of the magical season begun. The Jays made 4 deals within 48 hours with 4 different teams. General manager Alex Anthopoulos went 34 straight hours without any sleep. The first trade was with the Colorado Rockies, and it was a trade that shocked the baseball world. The Jays acquired the best shortstop in the game, Troy Tulowitzki, and a pitcher, LaTroy Hawkins, from the Colorado Rockies, in exchange for an future ace, Jeff Hoffman, and also shortstop Jose Reyes, and 2 other players named Jesus Tanaka and Miguel Castro. The next day, Anthopoulos made another deal, this time with the Detroit Tigers, and acquired an all-star pitcher, David Price. In return, the Tigers got Daniel Norris, Matt Boyd, and Nero Laborde, 3 solid prospects. Only one more day later, Anthopoulos made another deal, this time with the Seattle Mariners, and acquired Mark Lowe. And finally, to cap it all off, Anthopoulos made a deal with the Phillies, and he acquired Ben Revere for 3 pitchers. It was by far the most crazy and memorable trade deadline I have ever witnessed. So to recap it all, there's 4 deals with 4 different teams within 48 hours. The GM went 34 straight hours without any sleep. There's 5 players coming to Toronto and 13 players leaving Toronto. After the deadline, the Jays had 43 wins and only 20 losses to finish off the season with a 93-69 record. This record was good enough to win the division and clinch their ticket into the playoffs. In the playoffs, the Jays faced the Texas Rangers in a 5-game series, which means you need to win 3 games out of the 5. The Jays lost their first 2 games at home and had to be facing elimination heading out to Texas for 2 and possibly Game 5 back in Toronto. The Jays cruised past the Rangers in Texas and forced a Game 5 which took place in Toronto. So, in the 5th game, let's skip ahead to the 7th inning, where the weirdest thing happened. So, the paint picture, there's a man on third base with 2 outs. Top of the 7th, tie game at 2. Blue Jays catcher, Russell Martin, he threw the ball back to the pitcher, but hit the bat of the batter, and ricocheted down the third base line, and the man from third ran home. The umpire waved off, saying, "No run counts," although no one's ever seen this before, so they went to review it. The review took about 15 to 20 minutes. After all of that, the umpire declared that the run does count because the bat was in the batter's box, and therefore the ball is actually live. Therefore, Texas took a 3-2 lead in the inning. So let's get back to the bottom of the 7th. The Texas Rangers made 3 straight errors, and the Jays had bases loaded with 0 outs. After Ben Revere grounded out to the first baseman, who threw home to get 1 out, there was now 1 out with bases loaded. Up comes to the plate MVP Josh Donaldson. He hits a bloop single over the second baseman's head to put Ben Revere, but Ben Revere from first base, he got out trying to go to second. So now to paint the picture. Tie game at 3, 2 outs, man on third and man on first for Jose Bautista. With a 1-1 count, the pitch comes in. Bautista absolutely launches the baseball into the left field stands, and the Rogers Center just erupted. It felt like it was like an earthquake. Bautista flipped the bat towards the Texas bench, and he jogged around the bases. That is why they call it the bat flip that shook the world. The Jays wound up winning that game 6-3 and eliminating the Texas Rangers in the playoffs. The Blue Jays wound up facing the Kansas City Royals in the next series in a best of 7. To keep this short, the Jays ended up failing to beat the Kansas City Royals and failing to keep the dream magical season alive. The Kansas City Royals would end up winning the World Series against the New York Mets in 5 games, and they defeated the Jays in 6 games. Later that offseason, the Jays lost David Price to the Boston Red Sox, Ben Revere to the Washington Nationals, and LaTroy Hawkins to retirement, along with some other prospects. The Jays did acquire a really good closing pitcher, though, in Drew Storm from the Washington Nationals, along with some other key prospects. So looking to the future, the Jays will be a much better team this year than last year because of the really good acquisitions. The Blue Jays were spectacular for half the season with the same team this year, so just wait till they have the same team for a full year and see how much damage they can cause in the American League. Also, statistics say that the Blue Jays have the best odds on winning the World Series this upcoming year, so let's hope that comes true. Overall, the Blue Jays season was a magical one because the Jays made the playoffs for the first time since 1993, in which they won the World Series that year. It is also incredible how the Blue Jays made such a dramatic turnaround from a 50-49 record all the way to a 93-69 record and winning the division. Also, with the historical Game 5 against the Texas Rangers and the incredible home run from Jose Bautista and his bat flip, man, that'll be tattooed in every Toronto Blue Jays fan's brains for the rest of their lives. Thank you.